This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. We're so glad to have you with us on this Thursday, almost the end of the work week. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Ray Collins. June the 8th, 5 o'clock. And how much more rain can we take? Ooh. Is there more on the menu? Let's find out from John Scalzi. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Yes, we have rain in progress right now across
Lovely.
the area. I know. But the good news is we will be getting a chance to dry out here in the upcoming hours, actually. Yesterday's severe weather, well, that's a thing of the past. We won't see that today. But we do have some ongoing showers, especially around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor. There's some down there, anywhere from Inglewood down through Rotunda into Northport on up toward Arcadia, plus a few scattered showers along the coastline from about northern Longboat Key up through areas of Bradenton. But these are not the kind of showers that'll produce those, 60-mile-an-hour winds like we saw yesterday. But they will provide additional much-needed rainfall across the region. Nice showers, actually. Moving quickly out of the way, they'll leave us with a lot more sunshine around today and a daytime high that'll be reflective of that, coming in the mid-80s. We'll have about, I'd say, a 50% chance of showers during the first half of the day. Then changes. We'll talk about them in a second.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Already a buildup you'll see north of the river heading westbound there. Also, State Road 64, a little slowdown there as you head across the Braden River, farther south in the maps. Only issue we see right now is Clark Road, westbound around Beneva. And then the farther south we look, we'll see a little slowdown on 41 northbound just at the Business 41 junction.
Topping our news this morning, a Venice attorney has been arrested following a 6-month investigation.
The sheriff's office says Adam Miller embezzled from his elderly clients, including those who had already passed away. Our Rick Adams has the story.
Well, Adam Miller is the attorney who works out of this office. He now finds himself behind bars. Miller is accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from several people.
It just breaks my heart to think that they were abused like that.
Longtime Venice resident Sue Bain is talking about the alleged actions of 38-year-old estate planning attorney Adam Miller. Miller was arrested after being accused of bilking about $1.5 million from at least 4 victims. This especially hits close to home for Bain because she works with the elderly.
I feel angry for the people that he's hurt or stole from.
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says they've been investigating the Venice attorney for 6 months now. Miller's alleged embezzling began back in 2013. He is charged with 1 count of exploitation of the elderly and several counts of scheme to defraud.
Some of the accounts did have activity prior to the decedent's death. But most of the activity was after the victims had already died.
Miller's father, Raymond, who is also an attorney, was arrested back in 2010 and sentenced to prison for embezzling around $1 million. Andy Britton, a Venice attorney for 41 years, is shocked to hear that Miller followed in the father's footsteps with this criminal activity.
I'm surprised, and I'm surprised it happened again in the same Miller family. That's a surprise.
Authorities are continuing with their investigation. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office believes there are more victims out there. Adam Miller's bail has been set at $1.2 million. And if you feel you may have been a victim of this crime, you're being asked to contact the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office immediately. Reporting from Venice, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News. And
detectives say there could indeed be more victims among those clients.
The Northport Police Department has released its annual report. The department says there was an 8% decrease in violent crimes and 4% decrease in nonviolent crimes last year. Only 1 homicide was reported in 2016. The city also saw a drop in overdoses. 2 were reported last year, down from 7 in 2015. There were also 440 drug arrests.
A follow-up now on a plan to ban smoking on all Sarasota County school campuses. The school board approved the plan to make the district tobacco-free. No more smoke breaks for teachers and staff outside the building or even in their cars. It applies to staff and teachers and students and visitors and contractors. The district plans to make and pass out 800 signs that'll be in place by the start of the school year in August.
An update now on a medical marijuana dispensary opening soon in Bradenton. The CEO of the company TruLeaf says the business on 14th Street West should be open by mid-July. TruLeaf purchased the building late last year before Bradenton passed a 6-month ban on medical marijuana to allow the city to adapt to the new industry. The city recently extended that ban.
A setback for developers looking to build senior housing on wetlands in the Meadows in Sarasota County. They want to build on 13 acres near 17th Street in Honore, but it would require destruction of protected wetlands. County staff told commissioners the wetlands were of no use, but commissioners disagreed. The company CEO says his project would have actually been better for the environment.
Our current wetlands, because of various development around us, is unfortunately not thriving, and we believe that the replacement that we're proposing today will provide a healthier wetlands for all of the community.
After the vote, Commissioner Nancy Dietert said if they want to expand, they'll have to do it in a different location.
A quiet Sarasota neighborhood is now the scene of a kidnapping investigation.
Sheriff deputies say a man held his former girlfriend hostage for several days before she was able to escape. Our Bo Beth Yates has the story.
I'm very, very shocked.
That is the consensus among Camelot Lake's residents after sheriff officials say this man, Isadora Espina Aquino, held a woman against her will in her home for more than 10 days.
He had been holding her captive inside the residence. It's pretty extensive as far as when you actually wrap somebody in a bed sheet and then use your belt to restrain them within the house.
The incident occurred on the 4400 block of Stonehaven Lane in Sarasota. According to the report, the victim was in a relationship with Espina Aquino that had turned sour. And according to the probable cause affidavit, he contacted her alleging he was going to pick up his belongings from the home.
He came into the house, said he was coming with law enforcement. He arrived at the house by himself. She allowed him to come in the house, and then from that time on, he had stayed at the house with her, would not let her leave. If they did leave, they left together, was monitoring her phone calls, was monitoring anything she was doing on the phone, on the internet.
Days into the captivity, things became more volatile, and Espina Aquino became paranoid that the victim would escape. That's when he allegedly began taping the door shut and tying the victim up. He's also accused of drugging the victim with an unknown pill and threatening to inject the victim with a hypodermic needle filled with Dilaudid, which is a type of opioid. But instead, Espina Aquino used that needle on himself, and while he was passed out, the victim took that opportunity to escape.
She's incredibly courageous in that aspect and able to leave the house and get free and then get help for herself.
All details that have Camelot Lake's residents in awe.
Well, it's a very quiet place, and with older people, and yeah, nothing like this has ever happened here.
Bo Beth Yates, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And if you have any information on this, please call the Sheriff's Office. 508 right now. This month, the Ringling Museum will host an Asian art exhibit from the Minneapolis Institute of Art. The Eternal Offerings exhibit includes nearly 100 Chinese ritual bronze objects. It's considered one of the rarest collections in the country. The work shows the evolution of the use of bronze in Chinese society, highlighting how objects were used for religious rituals, big events, and to represent elite status across numerous dynasties.
They have really one of the premier collections of this type of material, and there's ongoing research on these objects right now. So it's really an exciting opportunity to be able to work with them to bring this to the area.
You have until September 10th to catch the exhibit. The greatest show on earth might be gone, but a new show with Marvel characters is almost complete. Feld Entertainment in Manatee County is previewing their new show at their studios in Palmetto today. It's called Marvel Universe Live. Feld says the show will feature superheroes and villains with interactive, hands-on stunt experiences. The show will debut later on this month in New Orleans and be in Tampa in January.
In South Sarasota County, the Venice Community Center is now closed until further notice after a lightning strike caused significant damage. Lightning struck 2 trees on Tuesday afternoon that were planted over a metal pipe that feeds the center's fire suppression system. The pipe burst, knocking out power, phones, and the fire alarm throughout the building.
So we're still evaluating the extent of the damage and any other systems in the building that are non-functioning. So we're waiting till power is restored to fully evaluate the situation.
Once the full extent of that damage is known, the city will work with Sarasota County and the insurance company to make necessary repairs. And the severe weather continues to cause damage across the Suncoast, this time on Longboat Key. The storm that moved through Wednesday morning knocked down trees and branches near the Longboat Key Club. Strong winds and rain also tore off a section of the roof at the club, which caused water to leak inside. The police chief says most of the damage appears to be cosmetic and should be repaired quickly.
We had a small tornado where there were straight line winds, but the winds were of enough force to knock down a lot of trees and to blow off a section of the roof at the Longboat Key Club.
Chief Cummings says there are trees down across the island and some minor flooding on the north end of the island.
The weather also caused some big problems on the state's east coast as well. Look at this. The rain flooded several neighborhoods in Broward and Miami-Dade counties. Some people going as far as parking their cars elsewhere and using canoes and boats to reach their homes. The water reached up to 7 feet high in some areas. There were residents also using motorbikes to get through the flood water. Other parts of the county also saw people using tubes to get around. And kids even got together to surf on a large sofa cushion. There goes a tube right there. The county might see more rain throughout the week. And just a reminder, if you ever see any great video or you catch any video, connect with us at mysuncoast.com or facebook.com. You can write to us here and we'll show the content.
Yeah, we would love to see some of those videos, especially weather videos, because, you know, eyes and ears out there, and we'd love to see some of those things that people are seeing already.
So kids were on a sofa cushion?
I've seen kids surfing on a sofa cushion before in floodwaters. They're just hanging out there.
That can't last long. Would it sink?
I would think the parents wouldn't know about that one.
They're like, wait, where's the sofa cushion?
This cushion smells a little odd today. Yeah, the good news is, you know, the fire danger is really down, so I'm glad to see that.
I would think so.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see that. We'll see what the drought monitor says a little bit later on today, whether that has kind of been chipped away a little bit. Hopefully it has, though certainly not drought-busting rains. We're looking at, over the course of the next couple of days, I think a little bit of relief from the rain. Chance to dry out.
Finally.
Good to hear.
Talk about it in a second.
Well, still ahead, a Suncoast tradition half a century in the making. We'll take you behind the scenes of the Sarasota Music Festival.
And at 5:32, we'll preview today's testimony on Capitol Hill featuring the former FBI director and tell you about some watch parties springing up around the country. Stay with us.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less. Featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest to support your head, neck, and shoulders, bedside power plugs, under-bed night lights, and more. So call and price one today for less. Up to 50% less than Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You've got to see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-774-8103. That's 1-800-774-8103. Call now.
I'm Alan Cohn. Sarasota's new mayor. She has her eyes on the future, but critics are still miffed about what she did in the past.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, we are about exactly where we were yesterday in terms of temperature and humidity. Wind speeds as well. Southwest now at about 14. It could be a breezy start to the day, no doubt about that. Small craft will have a little bit of a bounce out there as we have a moderate chop anticipated. Winds will be probably at around 15 throughout the morning hours. 80-degree air temperature, dew point coming in at 72, so it still feels very humid out there. Got a fair amount of cloud, but we also have some holes in the clouds this morning. We also have a few showers in progress. These are not the kind of showers we had yesterday, though. Glad to see that. They're not driving heavy rainfall with extreme gusty winds. Nothing like that. This is beneficial, good rain, the kind that really soaks in, even though the ground is really kind of saturated in places. We are looking at areas generally from about Venice down through Inglewood, into Rotunda, and north through Northport into Arcadia, seeing some light to moderate rain, periods of some heavy rain as well. All of this moving off to the north and to the east at a pretty good clip. So you won't be around very long. And then to the north, we have a few scattered areas of light rain coming through areas about through Bradenton. So again, these are passing showers. These are not going to be all-day event. In fact, the first half of the day probably seeing more rainfall than the second half of the day, certainly. Rainfall over the last 48 hours, boy, it's been impressive. You know, we've had some places that have seen nearly 5 inches of rain or over, according to Doppler estimates. So that's pretty appreciable. Most places you're looking at under 3 inches. Most places, 1.5 inches at most. So that's the kind of good rains that we need to kind of reduce our fire danger risk across the area. Every place is in the low category now. Like to see that. That'll be with us probably for another week, I would think. We have areas of low pressure that are rippling along a frontal boundary, one in particular sinking southward, dragging a cold front closer to us. This is not going to be a cold front that brings us any kind of real blast of cooler air, but it will bring a little bit of drier air as high pressure back behind it builds in. This little low responsible for morning showers. It's a very weak low. It's not going to produce severe weather. And then that high pressure builds in starting, well, really the second half of the day today, but certainly by tomorrow, we'll start to see the front fade away, high pressure build in. And I think Friday and most of Saturday will be pretty nice. And we will get some showers around on Saturday, but they'll be more the typical afternoon variety. So a few showers first half of the day today. Breezy wind out of the southwest, kind of subsiding a little bit in the second half of the day, but still kind of breezy throughout the afternoon. And then more sunshine around today, closer to a Chamber of Commerce day tomorrow, I think, than today. But still very nice compared to what we have seen over the last several days. So a little chance to dry out. Forecast over the next several days looks like this. We'll have about a 50% chance of showers today, about a 20%, that's it, tomorrow with a lot more sunshine around. And Saturday, maybe a 40% chance of afternoon showers, but most of the day will be partly cloudy to mostly sunny. And then we'll get back into a little bit more rainfall next work week. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look at traffic this morning. State Road 70 seeing a little bit of traffic. Other than that, Manatee County looking pretty good. I-75 heading south into Sarasota County looking clear. As we head into 41, you can see that there is some congestion heading northbound. And heading south into South County, not a whole lot going on. Pretty quiet at 519 on your Thursday morning.
The Sarasota Music Festival has been a Suncoast tradition for more than half a century now.
Our own Linda Carson takes us inside the classrooms and practice halls as some of the most promising young musicians of our time prepare for concerts that you are invited to see.
The Sarasota Music Festival is now in its 53rd year, but there's some brand new aspects this year.
Jeffrey Kahane, new music director. We're doing new concert formats where we involve the students and the faculty all together mixed in. Those are the Bach-Brandenburg concertos.
There's an amazing faculty.
They're the who's who of chamber music. They're really the best. They teach at the best conservatories and music schools. They perform with the best orchestras as soloists. They play in amazing chamber ensembles. They're really just, you cannot find better faculty than at the Sarasota Music Festival.
For the 15th year, faculty member Stephen Doan, professor of cello at the Eastman School of Music, is back, drawn by these students.
kids from all over the world at a very high level of musicality and technical development. So it's very stimulating just to walk into a room to work with them either as instrumentalists or when you're working with a group.
Student Jamie Sanborn is already a pro.
I freelance in Houston, so I do church gigs and I play with orchestras in the area and the operas on occasion, and then I also teach. I have about 50 students.
She comes here to network.
You get to meet people from all over the world, and through those connections you build those relationships and you get jobs out of it sometimes. They're your future colleagues, and so you get to know them now and you build the most amazing friendships that last a lifetime.
And she can learn from the very best.
The biggest part is learning from these different professors that come in, because the faculty changes week to week for each of the instruments. So you get to learn from Juilliard faculty, Colburn faculty, some of the best music schools in the world.
Both faculty members and students are preparing for the Friday night concert at the Opera House, where they'll be performing together.
We're playing all 6 Brandenburg concertos in one concert, and I don't think it's been done in Sarasota before.
Well, I would say if you wanted to see classical music at its best, it's a good place to do it.
We all complain about the anger and the hatred and the division in the world today, but here at the Sarasota Music Festival concerts, you'll find only great joy, harmony, and beauty. That's a lot to get in an evening's entertainment. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
That's why I love Sarasota.
So much going on here.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about going out to that Sarasota Music Festival.
Good.
I enjoy that kind of
Yeah.
music. Listen
Good.
to it when I get ready.
Yeah, lots of talent in this community. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, China unveils a driverless train. We'll tell you what that means for the future of transportation.
And coming up at 5:30, we'll have the latest out of Washington ahead of James Comey's testimony set for later this morning. What you can expect to hear. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
Welcome back. Thursday morning, 5:24 right now.
If you've ever had a cracked iPhone, I know I have, Apple is now looking to make it easier for customers to get it fixed.
And the company's also trying to reduce the wait times at their various stores. Here's today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple is making it easier for you to fix your phone.
It's sharing its secret repair remedies, sending its repair machines to hundreds of shops, including Best Buy. It'll cost as little as $129 to fix a cracked iPhone screen, and the machines will cut down on wait times.
And China has unveiled the world's first rail-less train. It's also driverless and runs on electricity.
Yep, the train follows painted white lines with the help of sensors, and it can travel more than 40 miles per hour and goes 25 miles on a full charge.
And back to Apple, some some Apple history up for auction. Sneakers with the company's old rainbow logo are available through Sunday.
The shoes were only given to Apple employees in the 90s, and you can own a pair of size 9.5 for a minimum bid of $15,000.
Who needs Jordans when you can have those?
There you go.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Quicken Loans.
Sarah is a 5th grade teacher. When it comes to molding young minds, nobody does it better. She also builds her own fighting robots. Destroy. But when it comes to mortgages, she's less confident. Fortunately for Sarah, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so she can understand the details and be sure she's getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
Finished. You wouldn't want your painter to quit partway. Think you missed a spot. So when it comes to pain relievers, why put up with just part of a day? Aleve. Live whole, not part. You want this color over the whole house.
You know your heart loves Mega Red Omega-3s. But did you know your eyes, your brain, and your joints really love them too? Introducing Mega Red Advanced 4-in-1. Just one soft gel delivers mega support.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
For years, I told everyone my Craftmatic adjustable bed was the greatest until I got the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has an adjustable pillow feature that's awesome. You're gonna want one too when you see how little they cost.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less, featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest, bedside power plugs, underbed night lights, and more. Available in all mattress types with optional heat and soothing massage for as much as half the price of Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. Adjust the rising pillow feature to help align your head, neck, and shoulders. See for yourself with our 30-day in-home trial. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You gotta see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-237-0214. That's 1-800-237-0214. Call 1-800-237-0214. Call now.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, all eyes on Capitol Hill as the former FBI director is set to testify later on this morning. We'll have the president's reaction to a few comments released already.
Plus, sailors from Jacksonville recognized after rushing to help pedestrians hit by a car in Times Square last month, how the governor is honoring them.
And 3 teenage girls in Miami invent a way to detect if your drink has been tampered with. Stay right there. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, June the 8th, 5:30. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi. John, there has been a lot of rain coming down. Can we expect anything to slow up at any time soon?
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Absolutely. Get a little chance to dry out today after, a week of some places getting as much as 5 inches of rainfall. We get a chance to see a little bit more sunshine over the next couple of days. We have some showers in progress currently, though, and I think the first half of the day today will feature those kinds of on and off showers. Nothing really heavy, nothing severe, but certainly some more much-needed rainfall. Right now, areas from around Venice down through Inglewood into Rotunda, up through Northport, past Arcadia, and into Wauchula, or at least the southern parts of Wauchula, are seeing some showers now. Gradually drifting to the south and moving each individual cell rapidly to the northeast. Total rainfall amounts will not be that great. A lot of sunshine in the forecast for today compared to the last several days. We'll call it a mix of sun and clouds. And we'll look for a daytime high that tops out in the mid-80s. Rain chance today, probably at about 50% for the first half of the day, and then we'll start to trend that back significantly as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. Complete forecast in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon, John. There is the scene right now in Manatee County. No problems to report at this hour of the day. Farther south into Sarasota, smooth sailing right now. We'll check back later. And South County, all good at 5:32 on your Thursday morning.
Topping our news this half hour, all eyes are on Capitol Hill as former FBI Director James Comey prepares to testify before the Senate today.
Some prepared remarks were released yesterday, and as Reed Binion tells us, they're already drawing some strong reaction.
Well, I think it's very close to obstruction of justice.
Congresswoman Jackie Speer, one of several Democrats reacting strongly to the release of fired FBI Director James Comey's prepared comments, ahead of what promises to be a dramatic day of testimony by Comey on Capitol Hill. Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein slamming the way Comey says Trump behaved in their meetings.
A president who knows no limits in terms of a proper relationship.
The White House characterizing Comey's prepared remarks as a vindication for the president, focusing on Comey's acknowledgement of Trump's claim that he told the president he wasn't personally under investigation. Republicans, including Senator Lindsey Graham, trying to cast Comey's testimony as a positive.
All in all, it's a pretty good day for President Trump. If I believe every word of what Comey said, it doesn't rise to the level of obstruction of justice.
Reaction to Comey's prepared remarks came the same day that Democrats expressed frustration over a lack of candor from intelligence chiefs testifying in the Senate.
To the best of my recollection, I have never been directed to do anything I believe to be illegal, immoral, unethical, or inappropriate.
Director of National Intelligence Dan Coates and NSA Director Mike Rogers refusing to offer specifics about their private conversations with President Trump, after a Washington Post report that Trump asked Coates to get Comey to dial back the focus on former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
Why are you not answering our
questions? Because I feel
questions?
it is inappropriate.
What is the legal basis for your refusal to testify to this committee?
I'm not sure I have a legal basis.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
We will be airing the testimony live here on ABC 7. You can also watch the live stream on our website and Facebook page. As always, you can find us at mysuncoast.com and Facebook at ABC 7 Sarasota.
And politics will mean free drinks today at one Washington bar. The Union Pub in D.C. is offering a round of free drinks every single time President Trump tweets about former FBI Director James Comey. Now, the tweets have to happen during Comey's highly anticipated Senate testimony today. The Union Pub says its deal will run until Comey's testimony is over or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, whichever comes first.
Meantime, President Trump has revealed his latest pick for a new FBI director. The president chose corporate lawyer Christopher Wray. He says Wray is a man of impeccable credentials. Wray previously served as Assistant Attorney General under the President George W. Bush administration. For the past decade, he was a litigation partner for a law firm. Sources say he is conservative and cautious. Wray still needs Senate confirmation.
Meanwhile, President Trump's plan to privatize America's air traffic control system is running into some opposition in Congress. Lawmakers are worried the plan could raise costs for travelers and hurt small airports. 2 Republican senators have voiced concerns. Senator Jerry Moran of Kansas says the administration's plan would hurt all but our largest airports and remove needed congressional oversight. Lawmakers from both parties have also pointed to the unprecedented safety under the current system. And President Trump spoke in Cincinnati calling for improvements to the nation's infrastructure, specifically inland waterways, including dams, levees, and ports. The president says he plans to pay for it with $200 billion in tax breaks, which he hopes will average $1 trillion worth of construction over time.
It's time to recapture our legacy as a nation of builders and to create new lanes of travel, commerce, and discovery. And we're going to see all the way into the future, and the future is going to be beautiful.
Trump says an $8.7 billion maintenance backlog for waterways is only getting worse.
An update now on that Montana politician who body slammed a reporter last month. Congressman-elect Greg Gianforte will plead no contest in a settlement with a reporter he is charged with assaulting. The attack happened last month in his office on the eve of a special election for Montana's 1 congressional seat. Reporter Ben Jacobs said after he asked Gianforte for an interview, Gianforte tried to throw him out of the office physically. Gianforte has since sent an apology to Jacobs and pledged to donate $50,000 to the Committee to Protect Journalists. So the reporter says he will not pursue a civil suit. Gianforte will face misdemeanor assault charges, though, in court later on this month that could still land him in jail for up to 6 months if he's convicted.
Now overseas in Iran, 12 people are dead and more than 20 injured following 2 attacks on the capital. ISIS now taking credit for those attacks on parliament and the shrine of Ayatollah Khomeini. Gunmen, some dressed as women, raided the parliament while it was in session and opened fire before one of them detonated a suicide bomb. At Khomeini's tomb, a similar attack with gunfire and explosions. It's the first attack claimed by the Sunni extremist group in the Shiite-ruled nation.
Actually hitting inside of Iran, deep in Tehran, is extremely unusual. If there is one entity that ISIS seems to hate and oppose more than the United States, it's actually Iran.
Experts say this was well coordinated and should come as a wake-up call for the Iranian regime.
Back here in Florida, unusual story here. A follow-up now on a woman who believed the Sandy Hook massacre back in 2012 was a hoax and made some threatening comments to one of the victims' fathers on a website. This is Lucy Richards. She took a plea deal and will spend the next 5 months in prison. She skipped out on her last plea hearing in April and was taken into police custody. Sandy Hook was the second deadliest shooting in our nation's school history. 26 were killed in Connecticut back in the year 2012.
5:38 this morning, and you're going to want to check your pantries as a recall alert is being issued this morning. The FDA is recalling Southern Grove cashews, halves and pieces with sea salt. Florida is one of more than 24 states affected. Star Snack Company received a number of reports that said glass was actually found inside the canisters. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported as of yet. People who purchase this product are advised to return it to the place of purchase for a full refund.
Governor Rick Scott has honored 2 Navy sailors who helped the victims after a man drove through a crowd in Times Square last month. Scott presented the Medal of Merit to the sailors at the Mayport Naval Station near Jacksonville. David Barbara and Andrew Miller were on leave in New York City at the time of the accident. They ran to the scene and assisted the victims until first responders arrived. Richard Rojas is facing 1 count of murder and 20 counts of attempted murder. Police say he intentionally drove into the crowd that day.
Florida lawmakers are continuing their 3-day special session today, in part to boost funding for public schools. Legislators are debating whether or not to use increased local property tax money to help fund education. The Senate began the session by overriding Governor Rick Scott's veto of the public schools financing program. The Senate Appropriations Chairman says it's a preemptive measure to make sure schools are funded should the legislature fail to reach an agreement this week.
We want to make sure that we have every confidence that if we get into some kind of controversy and we don't finish the rest of our business, or one body or the other doesn't like the outcome of the rest of our business and decides to go home, that we have this done.
Under the Senate's current formula, more than half of the increase for school funding would come from property taxes. However, the House opposes any tax increase.
Also in that special session, Governor Scott is adding medical marijuana to the agenda. Lawmakers are under pressure to create regulations after failing to agree on the number of dispensaries and growers during the regular session. The state senator sponsoring the medical marijuana bill says they will fulfill the will of the voters.
Those minor disagreements, we've made great progress, and now we have a framework to deliver implementation of Amendment 2.
Without legislative action, the state health department would be in charge of medical marijuana regulations.
Mote Marine Laboratory is getting some help from the legislature as well. As part of budget negotiations, Governor Scott is approving funding for Mote's Coral Reef Restoration Initiative. Mote will receive $500,000 to help restore 25,000 corals in the Florida Keys. The project will begin late this summer and last for about a year.
And 3 Florida high school students have invented a product that can instantly tell if a drink has been tampered with. A team of students from a Miami prep school created a smart straw that turns blue when it detects roofies, GHB, and ketamine. Those are the most commonly used date rape drugs. The young women entered their straw into the business plan challenge, where they took home first place.
We actually did a survey at Northwestern, and we received feedback from the sororities and fraternities that 85% of the people would use them.
Well, now the students are being encouraged to continue developing more products to complement the smart straw, and most importantly, patent it before others copy it. Some young entrepreneurs there.
Yeah, such a smart idea. Just a few years ago, there were some girls who had patented nail polish to detect rape drugs. And
just put your finger in?
Exactly. This is a little bit more effective, using a straw versus sticking your finger in a drink, I
Make
suppose.
sure you pack your straws with you, though, in the purse.
Very true.
Well, every bar should serve those. Should have those straws.
I agree. That is a
I mean,
great
if
idea.
you can do that, that makes sense. Well, why not?
Yeah.
Might be able to stop some
bad
devastating.
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some break from the rain today. As the second half of the day comes around, we'll see a little bit more sunshine. Yay!
Wow, what's
we'll
that?
Talk about that in a
Sunshine.
second. I know.
All right, still ahead, can drinking in moderation be harmful on your overall health?
We'll tell you what a new study is suggesting about what long-term risks we face from drinking alcohol. Up next in Health Smart.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who has taken Xarelto or Pradaxa. If you or a loved one took the blood thinner medication Xarelto or Pradaxa and was then hospitalized for internal bleeding, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious, even fatal internal bleeding. If you suffered a stroke, heart attack, or serious internal bleeding, or if a loved one died after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call us now. Our network of attorneys have years of experience fighting the big pharmaceutical companies and is ready to fight for you. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto or Pradaxa who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You won't pay a thing unless your case is settled. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone.
Please call 800-928-6604. That is 800-928-6604.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
That is a pretty good breakfast.
You're not even eating?
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
C7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperature in Dew Point about exactly where we were yesterday with an 80-degree temperature, a 72-degree dew point, making it feel kind of thick out there. We do have some clouds around. We also have some clear sky and a southwest wind breezy at about 14. That southwest wind will be elevated through the morning hours. Boaters, be aware of that as you head out of port. And we'll see a reduction in that wind speed a little bit during the afternoon. 81 Longboat Key, as I mentioned, 80 in Sarasota. Same thing in Venice and Inglewood. 76 degrees in Northport. 77 in Lakewood Ranch, double 75s Bradenton Parish, Wauchula coming in at 74, 75 degrees in Arcadia. So we have a couple lines of showers actually, a smattering of showers across the state of Florida, nothing like it was yesterday. We don't have any severe weather threat today. This line of showers really extends from around Inglewood, Rotunda, and then moves inland. We're not seeing much in the way of any kind of lightning pops with this, but there's some pretty good tropical downpours of rain here, especially to the south, just to the south of Warm Mineral Springs, heading up in that direction, going to cross 41 in about 15 minutes or so, and then move into Warm Mineral Springs and Northport. And then further to the north and to the east, we're seeing one shower leaving Arcadia right now, heading up toward the southern tip of Hardy County. That whole system is all part of a low pressure area spinning around in the atmosphere and sinking southward, just very close to us actually from North Florida. As it sinks southward, it drags a cold front through the area, moves across central Florida out into the Atlantic, drags that front across the state where it stalls out. It won't bring us much in the way of additional rainfall, but what it will do is eventually just dissipate away as high pressure builds in. When that high pressure builds in, our rain showers dissipate just a little bit over the next 24 hours. Tomorrow, I think, will be a lovely day. Lots of sunshine around, not much of a rain chance, and that fairer weather will probably extend right into Saturday as well. So for today, a few more showers in the first half of the day, followed by a breezy southwest wind, but some more sunshine a little bit later in the afternoon. There's that spinning area of low pressure kind of moving right into central Florida, dissipating away. The frontal boundary basically washes away, dissipates, high pressure builds in. And Friday and Saturday, we're left with a little bit of cloud cover, a little bit of sunshine, but not much in the way of rainfall. Today, total rainfall amounts, well, you're not going to see any of those 5-inch rainfalls or 4-inch rainfalls around. We're looking more at about half-inch at most rainfall, maybe even less than that. As far as severe storms prediction center goes, well, we're not looking at any severe weather threat today. If we see any thunder or lightning at all, it'll be just your standard garden variety thunderstorm stuff. 50% chance of rain during the first half of today, decreasing as we head into the afternoon. Tomorrow, 20% chance. Saturday, probably a 40% chance, but that'll be more kind of like your standard afternoon thunderstorm variety stuff. So most of the day will be spent with a fair amount of sunshine around. Same thing on Sunday, I think. More widespread showers next work week. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take a look at the Suncoast traffic this morning. State Road 70 seeing some increase in traffic. Also 301 seeing some more congestion as you're heading southbound. Other than that, looking pretty good throughout Manatee County. In Sarasota County, pretty quiet as well. The only congestion really happening as you head towards Clark Road onto I-75. And South County, pretty quiet as well at 550 on your Thursday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, recent research indicates that drinking in moderation could be good for our health.
Yeah, the Mediterranean diet allows for a daily glass of wine, but before you pop the cork, a new study suggests that even moderate drinking can pose risks. Kim Hutcherson sorts it out in today's Health Minute.
Moderate drinking can produce changes in the brain, according to a just published study in the British Medical Journal. Researchers examined 30 years of data from 550 British civil servants. They looked at weekly alcohol consumption and the results of brain function tests and MRIs. Scientists found that people who drank the most, defined as 2 or more drinks a day, had the highest risk of hippocampal atrophy, a form of brain damage. Hippocampal atrophy affects spatial navigation and can be associated with memory loss conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia. Their language skills also declined, and they had what scientists described as poorer integrity of the white matter in the brain, which affects the ability to process thoughts quickly. Most significantly, the study found that moderate drinkers, people who had 1 drink daily, also had a high risk of hippocampal atrophy. They were 3 times more likely to have the condition than non-drinkers. Scientists noted that the study didn't provide direct evidence of negative cognitive effects and said more research needs to be done. The study's authors want to try to replicate the results with a more diverse population. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
I guess the answer is pick the study that matches your lifestyle.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yes.
There we go.
5:51 right now. Still ahead, we'll update the day's top local news headlines. And what did Michelle Obama just reveal about the former president's clothes?
We'll tell you more about his fashion choice you may not have even noticed after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in.
Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC 7.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Welcome back, 5:55 this morning. Let's take a look at some of the top stories here on the Suncoast today.
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says a Venice attorney stole from clients. This man, 38-year-old Adam Miller, is charged with exploiting the elderly and misappropriating nearly $700,000. His father is also an attorney and was arrested 7 years ago on similar charges.
A quiet Sarasota neighborhood is now the scene of a kidnapping investigation. Isidro Espina Aquino held his former girlfriend hostage for about 2 weeks before she was able to escape. Espina Aquino faces multiple felony charges.
And a rare Asian art exhibit is now on display at the Ringling Museum. It's on loan from a facility in Minneapolis. It will remain here until September.
Finally this hour, get this. Former President Barack Obama wore the same tuxedo for 8 years. Michelle Obama spilled that secret at a worldwide developers conference for Apple yesterday. She says she went through hours of carefully planned out dresses and accessories while he wore the same tux and same shoes for 8 years. Isn't that insane?
Women get all the compliments, though. That's the thing.
I cannot believe that. Oh
my kind of guy.
Sounds like something you might do.
Yeah, I have one tuxedo suit that I have had for about 20 years.
Oh, there you go.
I've got two, and they look identical.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have more news of traffic and weather after this.